How many Web3 games do you know that give 100% revenue distribution? Now, there's been a lot of confusion lately about the Illuvium ecosystem with their tokenomics. In this video, I'm going to explain and break down in the most easiest way possible. Let's take a look. First off, everything in this video is subject to change because obviously in the future, the governance system could vote on something and change the way the token system works. But as of current, this is where Illuvium sits. Illuvium's philosophy has always been decentralization. So they've taken the approach of the network effect of giving ownership back to their players. So instead of one centralized entity that receives all of the revenue, it will be given back to the people who stake their token ILV. For example, Fortnite, when you buy a skin with their V-Bucks, aka money, 100% of that money goes back to the Fortnite company. With Illuvium, 100% of the money goes back to the Illuvium stakers. Now, Illuvium believes in a fair launch, and this means there's no whitelist or pre-sold collection of NFTs. And the reason for this is it will stop any whale from coming in and buying up all the top tier Illuvials and screwing with the economy, which in turn becomes a fair launch. Now, everything in game when purchased is coming from another player's hard-earned efforts instead of buying it from Illuvium directly. But let's get into the token. There is currently a two-token model, ILV and SILV2. ILV has two different use cases, which is governance and revenue distribution. SILV2 is like an in-game currency. Think of it similar for Fortnite as V-Bucks. It's used for travel, shards, weapon creation, and so on. It's not meant for market transactions, except when Illuvium is doing a sale for certain products, e.g. land or an Illuvitar sale, as this benefits the ILV token holders because every time SILV2 is claimed and spent within the game, the system will no longer mint an ILV token. There will only ever be a max supply of 10 million ILV tokens, but at its current trajectory, we're looking more so around that 8 million mark. But where did the other 2 million go? Well, when investors claim their staking rewards from staking the ILV token, they have an option to choose between ILV or SILV2. When they pick SILV2, they get access to them instantly and can use that for in-game currency or even specific sales, e.g. land, certain disc sales, Illuvitars, and so on. If they choose ILV as a reward, they will need to lock up for an additional 12 months, still earning interest. A key thing to note is SILV2 is just a synthetic version of ILV, one for one. When someone uses the SILV2 token, it will decrease the overall supply of ILV. So as an example, if someone purchases a certain product, say with 10 SILV2, the overall supply of ILV will decrease by 10. Staking rewards will conclude roughly on July 1st, 2024. So you're probably wondering, what happens next? Well, that means no more SILV2 will be minted, and whatever SILV2 is out in circulation will just continue to decrease over time. Now let's get into the exciting feature of the tokenomics of Illuvium, which is revenue distribution. Revenue distribution essentially refers to the fees generated from the IP. Example, games economy, merch, potential movie, and so on. Currently, we have Illuvitars and Illuvium land generating fees, which is currently stacking up in something called the safety pool. In short, the safety pool was something the community voted on just in case funds were needed for runway. Now, the safety pool is nearly filled up to its target amount of a total of $5 million. If all goes successful in December, Illuvium is having a promo disc sale that should complete the safety pool, and this means the revenue distribution will begin. Now, open beta is currently expected for Q1 2024, so let's have a look at how this ties into everything. There are currently 4 games in the Illuvium ecosystem: Overworld, Arena, Illuvium Zero, and Illuvitars. And in some way, shape, or form, these are all interconnected together. So all of these games will generate some sort of fees. Absolutely anything that makes revenue inside the Illuvium ecosystem will go inside the DAO's vault. Now, periodically, the vault will purchase ILV off the market and give it back to the stakers. And then at this point, stakers can either sell the ILV token or compound their rewards. So let's go through an example here. Let's say a player buys something off the Illuvial decks. It could be an Illuvial, weapons, armor, whatever it may be, and we'll price it at $100 for easy maths. So 95% of that will go directly to the seller and 5% will get split. As you can see, 2% will go to IMX. And if anyone doesn't know, IMX is Immutable X, which is the blockchain that Illuvium runs on. And 3% will get locked up into the DAO vault. After this, randomly the DAO vault will buy ILV off the market and give back to everyone who is staking the ILV token. And as you can see here, there are 2 main pools that receive revenue distribution. We have the ILV pool and the LP pool. Please note that with the LP pool, you will only get rev divs for your portion of the ILV token. So in other words, 50% of your stake will receive revenue distribution. So let's use an example. Say you're a land holder, you'll mine your resources and then you'll sell it into the ETH pool and receive your ETH. Now, of the fuel sold, 95% of that will go back to the ILV stakers and 5% will go to the landholders. Now, you can either use SILV2 or ETH to purchase fuel as a player, as you'll need the fuel to perform actions in-game. Now, I hope this cleared a few things up, as I know it can be super overwhelming. I even learned a few things myself over the past week about the tokenomics, and I'll see you in the next one.